What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 12 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Drazhoath the Ashen Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, we have pretty much destroyed the sires of Morcane Undead and are looking to finish them off within the next couple of turns, as their last territory, Omdra's Lair, was as promised taken between the episodes, as it was one of those little minor battles that didn't warrant an actual fight and was broken due to the presence of a building, so and we couldn't auto-resolve it, obviously, because the auto-resolve doesn't like Arcadai very much. But anyway, these guys are done for, and we'll take them out, and then we'll probably move on to the Clan Krizor Skaven, because, well, they did attack us once, and I'm sure that Drazhoath remembered it. Plus, they do possess this landmark here, which is pretty nice. It's physical resistance 10% for Taurus units, and upkeep reduction faction-wide, as well as Bale Taurus breath attack increase in numbers. A very solid landmark, and we must have it. Frankly, if these guys were to take it, we'd either have to trade it from them or probably kill them, because we gotta have that one. Anyway, before we get started on whatever it is we have to do, and I imagine there's a fair bit here as everybody has to move, there's two things. First of all, engagement threshold reached, and we'll do the hour long, and 350 likes and 60 comments for the next one to be an hour long as well, yada yada yada, what I usually say. The important thing is also last episode, for those who don't read the comments and announcements below, I left you guys with a vote for getting a mod up and running for this particular campaign. I forgot to say it out loud, so I'm going to say it here, and I'll leave it again, but this is the last time to vote. So, I've been considering adding a mod that'll add a few units to our roster here. The Chaos Dwarfs roster is a little bit bare, not so much of unit numbers, but of different unit types, in the sense that, yes, we do have 4 artillery pieces, 5 if we count the trains, but they function very similar to each other. At the end of the day, they're artillery. And then same, of course, with the Infernal Guard, the Iron Sworn, and the Dwarf Warriors. Again, functionally very similar to each other. And I've said it, I don't know, maybe once an episode now, that I really want flamethrower units. So, there's a couple of options I looked into with getting a couple of extra Chaos Dwarf units in, and I forget the names of both mods, but basically one adds 5 different units, including a flamethrower unit, and the other one adds, like, I don't remember the number, but it was a lot more units, like 13 different units, as well as a Hobgob Hero and a Hobgob Lord, including a Mage Hobgob Lord as well. But that one does not have flamethrower units, though it does have bomber units that throw these throw bombs similar to the Iron Sworn, and does have torpedo units as well as siege giants, which, well, I guess they're just like chaos giants, but chaos dwarfy. Anyway, my point is, it's a smaller mod with units, bigger mod with units, or no mod at all. I'm going to put the, or already have put the vote up in the Patreon in the comments down below, so please do make your voices heard, and I will abide by the vote as to whether we get that mod going. Alright, that took a while, so now I need to shut up and do a battle. Well, I guess that doesn't make me shut up so much, but anyway, Vrogny Skarugs, we'll start with you, sir. Let's get you leveled up. A Blade Master for you. Gonna try to get into that extra powder. We're gonna declare war on these guys who are... Oh, you can't even talk to them. Oh, that's interesting. I guess because they're a horde faction? A greenskin horde faction, I'm pretty sure. Well, either way, we're going to attack them, so it doesn't change anything. Declare war, and nobody wants to get involved. That's just fine by us, because we don't have any military allies, only defensive allies. I'm much more wary of military allies in Old World than I am in SFO, or in Immortal Empires. But anyway, this should be pretty fun. They have massive amounts of physical resistance due to being Savage Orcs, and we're still a little bit damaged from the previous fight, especially those Iron Demons of ours. Should be an interesting one. Ooh, and they got a giant too. Go. Alrighty, here we go. Our great Taurus looks pretty happy as we're going to be fighting another battle with this particular army. And it should be pretty interesting with all that physical resistance from those Savage Orcs. Plus, we could probably consider it a little something of a preview of what is probably going to be the major war of superpowers in this particular campaign. Grimgor's getting stronger and stronger, and while he doesn't have quite the number of settlements that we do, he's got more than 20 at this point, and will probably just continue to grow, so there is that. Anyway, we got an anti-large unit in our Demolisher rockets from our Death Shriekers, so they'll be focusing down that giant while the enemy army charges towards us. We got the fairly decently large number of Savage Orc Boar Boys, big uns or not, to deal with. It looks like 3 are moving in from the flanks, and then a couple are charging us directly. And we got a nice sort of formation for the blunderbusses to fire through, with the left flank protected by the plateau. So hopefully that'll be good. Anyway, blunderbusses are working away at those Savage Orc Boar Boys, big uns or not, and the warriors look like they're holding them back just fine, at least so far. We're going to summon the Kadai on top of the enemy, not going to make that same mistake twice and summon them for Cav, and instead deal with as many of the enemy range units as possible. Slowing the enemy down to get a few more shots in from our blunderbusses and a little bit of extra fire damage as the big old blobs of enemy infantry have arrived. And by the looks of it, same said blobs are kind of in in 2 separate formations, but that just means we can hit them pretty hard with our army bound ability or our lord bound ability. There we go. And that should be a fairly considerable bit of damage to both those blobs. And of course our blunderbusses will continue firing. Looks like the single unit that charged us on the left flank has been destroyed, which means that this portion of our formation can reorient and start those blunderbusses firing into the back, or into the flanks rather, of the blob of units. Our Blazing Beards of Bergerac still chucking the occasional blasting charge at the enemy, together with those blunderbusses. And it looks like the giant has finally made its way closer to our formation, but is down to about 20% of his HP. The cavalry on the right flank have finally started to move, but of course we are ready for it, as we did keep 2 of our great weapon units back and ready to interact with said cavalry, while the combination of blunderbusses and iron demons fires away at them as well. And it is a nice combination. As long as we don't have the suppression debuff on the blunderbusses, the iron demons can provide the suppression, though if we do get that upgrade, then it won't be necessary. Anyway, does look like another unit of Boar Boys did manage to loop around a little bit, but the blunderbusses and the iron demons alike are still there. Does look like the blasts from the Iron Demons don't penetrate the enemy formation nearly as much as I would have thought they would, but I suppose it doesn't matter over much because they're having a pretty bad time. In fact, the entire enemy army is having a pretty bad time, with the balance of power having shifted to about 90% in our favor. We're able to force a couple of enemy range units into melee by hitting them with those Kadai, but it looks like they've given up and are routing, and in fact so is the entirety of the enemy force. And there we are. That worked out pretty well. Basic Chaos Dwarf Warriors or not, but the formation worked nicely against the Savage Orcs. Alright, there we go. A really fun fight and relatively minor losses. Obviously, the performance is going to be better when we're not facing off against 3 stacks with this particular army. And the heavy physical resistance of the enemy did let us enjoy the battle for a little bit longer as well. Which is a nice thing, minus the blunderbusses, which now do magical damage. So, yeah, Banner of Swiftness, I guess we're going to pop on our Lord, at least for now, though. I do kind of like the ability to reposition some of the units. I'm almost even tempted to put it on the Blazing Beards of Bergerac, since they're our most sort of defensive unit. We'll put it on them for now. I will think about it. It's a valuable banner, a surprisingly valuable banner. But anyway, here we have 300 labor, which is pretty solid. Decent chunk of change as well. I think we're going to need a lot of labor, and the reason for that is we are at 650 influence again, and I think, well, let's deal with this first. Transport captives, yes. Alright, and then, what do we have here? Is this a Chaos Dwarven Rebellion? House of Baal Rebels. Those guys destroyed, but anyway, there's that banner of swiftness. You can chase down and destroy the remnants of this, and is that an... Huh, that's one of Goldtooth's camps. Interesting. Haven't seen him in a while. What do we have in terms of damage? 48, relatively minimal. Still more than I'd like, and oh, it hurt our Demon Smith. What the heck, game? What are you doing? And it also hurt our Iron Demons, unfortunately. That's a bit of a shame. Kind of makes me worried about keeping them in this particular army. I was thinking about possibly changing them to a different army than this one, and then just putting 2 more Death Shriekers in this one as well. Granted, if we keep them around long enough and replace the single Death Shrieker with a train, it would really help us out. But we could also do that with the 3 Death Shriekers and keep 2 and still do a train. So there is that. But anyway, you have to channel, so... Oh. You do want to channel, but at the same time you also want to heal. We really need healing. Okay, let's do that. Kuntij. Oh, right. You were stuck here because, well, you know what? I don't know whether they'll try to go for you and attack you, but they couldn't reach you if you just stay right there anyway. So let's land, but not go any further, as it is very dangerous. No one of these armies could take this army on. Obviously, Drazh can, but he can't teleport to it, so he'll just have to deal with it as it is. Vrogny the Grey, you're probably fine for now. We could obviously build the Fire Enclave and then rush it, but I think I'd rather just send you out. We gotta get you ready to start fighting. So, in that light... start moving towards, I guess, Malice. I'm just wondering whether we should send you to deal with Malice or whether we should send you to deal with the Pallid Nurslings. Somebody has to deal with it. These guys, well, Nabua will travel here with his Infernal Guard army, and then presumably take the most heavily fortified of these territories while Drazhoath attacks from here. Will 2 armies be sufficient? I'm gonna hope so. Alright, Vrogny, I think you're going north then, so start traveling north, please. And in fact, just to save on a little bit of cash, we'll make the recruiter here leave Magpie Town. We'll send Vrogny to Magpie Town instead. And then we'll travel from hold to hold and then slowly get to the Pallid Nurslings, because yeah, this is kind of annoying now. And also, does anybody know why some of our territories are, you know, they're colored red, like our main territory, but then some of them aren't? Like this Desolated Expanse is not, and then this whole territory is not at all, and it's kind of bothering me. I originally assumed it had something to do with the contiguity of our empire, but if that was the case, then this would also be in our color scheme, but it isn't. So what's the deal here? And frankly, we have a ford here, we have a crossing, so this would also, or should also be in the part of the contiguity of the empire, because the roads continue. And while Malice is his own reddish color, I think it's just only just slightly different from ours. But anyway, it's not a big deal. But I would love to. I would love for that to be fixed. Anyway, UTA Azgorh. I believe you were trying to get to the Tower of Grief, but it frankly doesn't really matter which of the particular settlements that you're in. So you could just sit in the steam vents for now. Will you provide any additional public order out of curiosity? No, not unless we build a bunch of goblin laborers for the additional military presence, which we might do. It's just that we're not wasting the money on it right now, because we're gonna need all the money we got. Mordem Unzalad, you are moving towards the Bay of Storms and towards Nabua, to whom you will transfer your his artillery. And we gotta keep an eye out on these guys as well. Gotta get another unethical Castellan, and also get Castellan capacity. Other recruiters, I think, are good for now. Astrogoth, yes, you still have to move. And, oh, you know what we're gonna do? Let's do this alliance. We're not gonna go defensive alliance with the Bloody Sword as yet. I don't see the need, although it is tempting. I will think about it. It's just that if they start a fight with one of the other nearby Chaos factions, I would probably support the other Chaos factions, because we can take these mountains for ourselves. It's just right now we're gonna be crossing through their territories, and frankly, with them acting as a sort of bulwark to defend us, it might be decent. But later, if we betray them, we betray them. They do hold some decent territories, after all. Including gold and gems, both of which make solid amounts of cash. But anyway, Ostrogoth, you're going to move through this way. And you're probably actually going to jump down here, so there's a decent argument to be made for then also getting the same type of agreement with the Heralds of the Tempest, though they are disliked by a few factions. Was it Valkia that hated you? Yeah, they're kind of okay with each other. Alright, fine, we'll do the military access and the non-aggression pact with them as well. It's free money. But no defensive alliance, especially with the Warriors of Chaos, because it's relatively useless. Anyway, I believe with Ostrogoth having moved, let me just double check here. Oh, still gotta move the spies, alright. Tech Thief, and oh, you've got a long way to go, bud. And other corporate spy. Try Broken Tooth Hold again. And Sleight of Hand and success. Very nice. Very nice, my friend. Keep that going. Now I believe that's all that we've got. Or is it? With the 600 Conclave influence, we're gonna get the Warhost of Jar on board as well. It's probably time. I mean, we just got Ostrogoth, so we may as well. Claim seat. I do like the idea of having this seat as well. And this spawns a temporary army of hobgobs when sacking enemy settlements. It'll come in handy since, frankly, for the amount of territory we don't have a lot of armies. Just trying to get by, essentially. So, yeah, let's do it. Oh man, this is gonna screw our economy. Okay, that's minus 6,000 gold per turn. Honestly, not as bad as I thought it would be. Province Causeway of Jar. 1, 2, 3. And only 3 full provinces. Okay, that's not bad. I was worried about a ludicrous amount of admin, but I think we can deal with 3. Gates of Jar. Surprisingly don't have a landmark there. Such a cool looking territory. You would think that they would have the Gates of Jar territory. I think it's a landmark. I think it's one should be added. Like somebody suggested, it should be something like a reduction of labor, or a reduction of public order due to labor thing. Like maybe it's immune to the public order labor situation. That'd be real nice for the place. But anyway, we will have to build a Temple of Hashut here like we do everywhere. And, well, we gotta start with the rail network. We'll build the level 1 first. And then next turn we can probably build the Temple of Hashut if we have space remaining. What else do you have military-wise? You have all the military stuff. Well, that's pretty solid. It will, once they're all maxed out, give you pretty solid defenses as well, so that ain't bad. And, oh, capacities, right. You will have infernal castlans of your own, won't you? And, hey, we got an unethical one. That's real nice. You're probably a little bit too far to travel to Nabua, though. It would take too long. Oh, right, let's take a look at... Oh, he's got 4 armies, eh? Okay, so obviously we can't keep 4 armies. What we also do need to do... Okay, wait, Demonsmith. Level 14 Demonsmith. With Fanatical, though. Pretty meh. Pretty mad. Probably replace you. Obviously don't hold these items, and you know what? While we're here, let's lose the Brass Cleaver and maybe the Gleaming Pennant. We'll keep an eye on that. What's to... Oh! Obsidian. Hey, he didn't complete one of his quests. Beautiful. We get a free quest out of this. Oh, I'm happy. Okay, that was probably a good idea to confederate him now before he did that quest of his. Okay, you have Vengeful, which is meh, so we can probably delete... Well, actually, I was about to say delete that pile of laborers, but there's a decent likelihood that these factions will attack us, so we'll move you up here, let's say, to defend, at least for now. With only laborers, your army is very, very cheap. ZHATAN, you're probably going to need to be reset, unless I'm mistaken. And, ooh, we got some artillery for you already. I like it. I like it a lot, because ZHATAN is an artillery lord. Let's see, he's got casualties captured per battle, missile resistance minus 20% for artillery. Oh, wow. The AI didn't use his unique line at all. Go figure. And upkeep reduction for the army, casualty replenishment for the army, armor and melee defense. And, oh, he has enemy leadership reduction. I was looking to do a leadership shock army. That's kind of interesting. Alright, I have an idea coming together. What we'll do is this. ZHATAN. Oh, we can't summon Demon Smiths here? Please tell me you can summon Demon Smiths somewhere in your territories. Probably only at the Gates of Jar, right? Demon Smiths of Metal. controlling, no, okay, not the kind I want. We want these ones, manipulative, enemy leadership -4, and I think we'll do 2 metal sorcerers with ZHATAN, and we'll transfer him the iron demons as well. We're gonna make him our mechanized army, because he doesn't buff anything other than artillery and war machines anyway. You and you. Okay, so you're just a basic army. You will need to be elsewhere, so we'll have you leave this army, but afterwards, since you can't move right now anyway. You are also a Castellan with Vindictive. Okay, so you we don't need. You're a waste. And I didn't take your items away either. Alright, take you out. Then we will transfer... Okay, also, what do you have? Vengeful again? He has 2 Vengeful guys, eh? Looks like his faction's upset at stuff. You're gonna transfer stuff. We'll use you, put you here near the Dimmed Suns, or actually there might not be a need considering you can send ZHATAN that way. Actually, we have to figure out which way to send ZHATAN, but we'll deal with it in a second. Alright, so what we'll want to do is transfer all of ZHATAN's units. We'll get rid of the Chaos Dwarf Warriors shortly, but send his decent units here in place of the laborers. Like so. And, oh, you know what? Let's let him keep the 4 orc laborers. Like so. Oh. I think I said I was going to replace the sorcerer, but you can keep him for now so that you have a full stack. Like so. Alright, good. That'll be the beginnings of ZHATAN's army. Now, ZHATAN, unfortunately, because the AI completely screwed you over with regards to your points and stuff, we're going to have to reset you, meaning you'll be back in 3 turns, sir. Wait. I did that a little bit early. We're gonna get rid of this pile of laborers. Although they're so cheap, it's tempting not to get rid of them and just use them to defend. Yeah, we're kind of surrounded by orcs and other factions that might declare war on us. What is this? Another Chaos Dwarf faction. I'm not sure we'll let any of them live within Jarna Grund. We should have the entire place. But these guys, the Slaves of Jar will definitely attack us, and most likely these guys will as well. But these guys, the Dimmed Suns, are more distributed into the northern mountains of Morn, meaning we hopefully can wait on them a little bit. And I see some regular dwarves here as well. Alright, so we'll keep these 2 armies defending. What do we have here? Skaven? Huh, Zinch, is it the Changeling, maybe? What do we have here? Ooh. Rocket test site. Research rate and range for Death Shriekers. Oh. I'm sorry, Snakebeard's Artificers, you're gonna have to die. It's unfortunate, but you have a landmark, and, well, you shan't be keeping it. Anyway, we'll deal with that later. I guess what we'll simply do is we'll reset ZHATAN, but we'll keep the army, meaning we'll do it right now. Reset skill points, and then we'll replace him with hopefully one of the free lords needful. We can start leveling you. You're the only free lord we have, I think. Yeah, alright. At least you're needful, which is great. Although obviously we'd want an overseer to lead these guys, because I think an overseer would make them free, but we'll have to pick some overseers later, because right now it costs a lot to recruit them. And oh, I just realized something. By confederating him now, we probably vastly increased the cost of all of our stuff, didn't we? Or at the very least, all of our lords and heroes. That's, well, that's gonna be an issue, because our money situation is bad. I'm kind of tempted to get rid of the Chaos Dwarf Warriors, but we may need this army in short order. And we'll just have to leave it as it is. And hope we can fix the situation. Alright, speaking of fixing the situation, we have obsidian here, which is a raw material, right? Yeah. Well, I suppose, okay, here, get rid of this. We can bump up the tools manufactory afterwards. Masterful Architects, we can keep the Overseer's camps as they are then, and then upgrade you as well. And just no Incinerator. Yeah, that's probably fine. Alright, otherwise we will definitely want the patrol routes to be built immediately, and then the rest of the stuff will be fine. What about here? Here we will... Do we want to keep the Overseer's camp, or do we want to switch you to a factory? I think we're better off switching you to a factory, and you didn't build pottery to make it cheap to be built here? Okay, wow. Wow, ZHATAN, come on, man. Although, this is, yeah, you know what, we'll switch you to a factory, but I think it's mostly just because I want it to be fortified. I think this'll make for a fairly decent military place, so we'll actually keep the Hobgoblin bivouacs, but rebuild them in factory, together with an ash level. And just for the capacity, and then defenses, rather than anything that will give us any issue with public order. Anyway, what do we have here? Okay, now we've already done this province. There's only 3, so there's not a lot. He must... Oh, okay, he has something like this. We'll ignore you for now. Public order probably will be an issue as well, but anyway. This is... Oh, wow, another obsidian. Interesting. Alright, so delete this and then switch you to a outpost. This is going to be another outpost territory. And we'll need to capture Urdamrak as well. Well, you know what? We'll probably be confederating the Conclave very soon in a couple of turns, so we will probably... Maybe we will start fighting these guys after all. And just because they're closer. Because I imagine Gorth the Cruel has a full stack and we'll be able to send him out immediately. What about this place? Aha, this place will have to be factories because it's got iron. So, delete, delete, delete. This is already a factory and gunsmith is fine. We'll switch you to masterful architects. We'll switch you to convert to tower. We'll switch you to convert to factory. Lovely. Alright, that one's decided and then this one's by itself, so we'll leave it alone for now. And just like this one. And, aha, we got raw materials coming out of here, so the outpost is appropriate here as well. Alrighty, that was not nearly as bad as Ostrogoth's for some reason, but maybe I'm just channeling the bias from, hello, what do we have here? Provides the following effects once equipped: Gauntlets of Bazarek the Cruel and Armor of Bazarek the Cruel, melee defense, unit mass and hit points, all characters, faction. Oh, that's nice. That's real nice. Gotta find those gauntlets somehow. I forgot what I was saying because I got distracted by the nice item set. Anyway, garrison lore not moved, unsigned skill points, building upgrades available, outpost available, ignore for now. Labor. Okay. Okay, we need to figure this out. Control. Let's order by you. +6, -3 is fine. This is fine. I don't want to spend labor on it, at least not yet. These are fine. Actually, more or less everything's fine. Skull Road, I guess we could use a little bit of labor to start making this positive. Dragon's Breath is kind of an issue. Alright, fine. Let's transfer a little bit to Dragon's Breath, but otherwise we'll be okay. You and you. To Dragon's Breath. Can't be having that -9, that's insane. And then control, and then control. Alright, that looks good. I believe... Oh, we still have to spend a little bit of cash, alright. Or a little bit of resources. Oh, wow, look at the building. One materials at sea. One materials at sea will fix all of this for ages, but, well, we don't have it right now. Anyway, Tower of Grief. We'll probably want to upgrade the Sorcerer Prophet's estate, though... Maybe we'll want to ignore the big upgrades right now and try to focus on getting more money and stuff, so yeah, just focus on factories and that sort of deal. Direbugs, rush to construction. Let's build the tools manufactory. I don't want to see this place anymore, and upgrade that gold refinery, and I guess get the armaments, the gunsmith up and running as well. Alright, good enough for now. How much is this? 610. A little bit expensive, but I just do it. Alright, Spice Route is okay. This place is armaments, not gold. This place is rushable, but I'm not going to waste the labor because I think we're going to need it right now. Aha. Okay, so these two should be constructed. And we might as well just build these as well. Alright, Bay of Storms. Do we want to upgrade the tower here? And we'll leave it alone for now. And what? Where is this place? Scalded Hinterland. Ah, yes. We will want to build the Wolf Tamer here, but then here I guess we'll just do the public order. Let's do the public order. Alright, Noblar Hills. We should probably upgrade both factories. More money generation. Looking to just generally upgrade all factories to max level right now, so I think that's probably where we want to spend the rest of our cash. And we just fixed our economy, but what are you gonna do? This place has to remain fortified, so we're not touching it. This place is good as it is. I guess we could upgrade you. Not that we... Yeah, you know what? Keep it as it is. We're gonna need money. Alright, no more spending gold, just spending raw materials. Alright, upgrade this factory or production plant. Oh, actually no, not here, because we need to switch you back to Masterful Architects, but we can't do it yet until we get Ostrogoth's stuff. And not to worry, all of the Lizardmen will be I'd love to upgrade you, but we can't do it right now. All of the Lizardmen will be counteracted by the big old battle that we're about to fight in a few minutes. Production plant. And should I have... You know what? I lied. Production plant. This one. Build the gold mine here. And then the gold, and then make more money. Alright, I believe that's all we can do right now. All the money we have minus the armaments, and we're just not spending those. Alright, I think, or at least I hope, that's all we gotta do this time, so we're ready to end the turn. And you can't move. Oh, actually, you can. You know what? I'm gonna send you right here to Red Cloud. We gotta chase this guy down. Let's go here. I assume that you will no longer suffer attrition in this territory? Yeah, okay, good. And then we can end the turn and fight Krikta with this Drazhoath and this fantastic looking elite army. Go. Alrighty, there we are. Ambusher discovered Surtha Ek, Fortress of Vorag besieged. Unit capacity for bull centaurs. That's actually quite helpful. And... Huh? Oh, right, this guy. Okay. Hey, a free Trickster's Helm. Not a bad find at all. And another Talisman of Obsidian. Not a bad find either. Thank you, Tower of Jar. Now you, killed this. Oh, let me guess. He's going to... Yep, the dead are going to rise. At least we got a free armor of silvered steel out of it, but... alright, we're gonna have to chase him down. No problem. You? That's gonna be your job. Go out here close as you can to him, stay near the ghoul wastes, and track down those guys. And then I guess what we can do is we can send Astrogoth after this guy, so let's go here. Or Astrogoth, Drazhoath. Go attack those. And that should be the last of their armies out of resolve. And oh, did it really kill a Kadai? Fighting that, okay. But we'll take the labor. We clearly need it. And now that we've he's still around. Okay. I didn't say alive that time. Let's move here. Oh, another Black Gem of Nar. Interesting. Enchanted shield for you, sir? No. We'll turn that into something else and go here. Alright, auto-resolve again. Please don't kill another Kadai. 0 lost this time. Beautiful. And we will take the healing, because maybe it'll heal some of the Kadai back up. A Razor Standard, not bad. And, hey, a Lichbone Pennant, the best item to find. Or the best banner, at least. That, well, you know. Anyway, good banner. Black Sands is presumably filled by Skaven, because we counted last episode and they had 5 territories, and... I assume it's these 5, meaning will it possibly attack them in a second or will possibly wait a turn? We'll see about it. More importantly than that by far is big old battle. Alright, Krikta, we are going to attack you. So let's level up Nabua. He has 4 points, so let's get another point in labor, or we could go straight into Blackshard Bulwark and max it out. So either we get an additional 5 armor, or we get an additional armor and melee attack. Let's do Blackshard Bulwark. We'll still get armor, presumably, after this fight, because I imagine that we should be leveling up. That's good, we are the elite for... No! Inspiring Inferno first to get the reduction and immunity to psychology. They're going to need it against that Drazhoath. And so double check Infernal Castellan. Okay, now none of the new ones, at least not of the type that we want. Nabua, you're going to reinforce against Krikta. I mean, we're sending all 3 armies, because I don't know about the Hobgobs fighting against all the elite units of the Lizardmen roster. Let's see if they can, though, because they're gonna damn well have to. Go. Of course, Stormbreaker and Gordas will lead. Alright, close victory, medium casualties. I do see our armies are moving in from the sides, but hopefully the AI will be willing to wait. Let's find out. Go. Alrighty, here we go. I am particularly excited about the fact that I haven't seen a Drazhoath in ages, it feels like, and just generally the rather elite units. I guess that's a big advantage or major advantage of having these drill armies on the map. We can march towards them and be assured of some battles with some big beasties and the highest tier units those armies can field. You're a good boy, Drazhoath. Anyway, we are going to speed this up as we get a while to wait until our reinforcements arrive on the screen, as we will want to use as many of our units as possible, both armies at the very least, considering that Gortys is made up of hobgobs. We definitely want to make use of those Infernal Guard for this particular battle. And there they are, they've arrived. We will of course have to get at least a few of our units moving off the screen, so that's pretty much any hobgob reinforcements that don't have Gortys' buffs, as we don't want to waste those 40 unit slots. Granted, that means that we won't be getting any reinforcements coming in, as we have forced the rest to flee the battlefield, but gotta do what you gotta do. Anyway, it looks like the enemy will start off and draw first blood as they get an Urnon's Thunderbolt. Whether they have a Skink Priest of Heavens or whether that was from the Coatl, I don't know, but well, they do manage to kill off 5 of the Infernal Guard with that first blow. Not to worry though, we've got artillery of our own, not so magical, but well, I'm sure they can burn a fair few of those Temple Guard. Nice shot from the magma cannons, and none of the units of Temple Guard get destroyed by it, but that's only the first volley, and I would wager we can out volley the enemy bombardment, as in the enemy magical bombardment. Here's volley 2, all shots hitting the side, the flank of the Temple Guard. That's quite interesting. Still not managing to take out a unit, but honestly, that's once again a bit of a taste of our own medicine, as we've been taking advantage of that for many a battle. It looks like only 2 volleys in, the enemy is annoyed enough to start marching towards us, so they will suffer another hit to their Temple Guard and have lost their first unit, but will begin firing back as they get in range with the solar engine. For our formation, we're going with a very simple here, just a big old battle line of all of our Infernal Guard except 2, as 2 of them are damaged, and we'll be sitting back here to protect our more vulnerable range units and the magma cannons as well. On our flanks, we have the Shin Takers, the Boblin, well, all of the Sneaky Gits, and all of the Wolf Raiders, as we're using the Wolf Raider archers as archers in this particular battle behind the big line of Infernal Guard. The simple fact is, if they tried to go in, they'd get obliterated by the various enemy range units or flyers or whatnot, or just get shot up by the enemy solar engines, so we really couldn't harass the enemy army in the manner that we normally do. That's alright though, that's why we've got the Infernal Guard here, and ooh, it looks like the enemy Lord will actually lead the charge. That was a tremendously foolish move, as a full volley comes in from our fire glaives, and he decides that that was a tremendously bad idea. The arrows will follow him and knock him out of the sky. Oh, poor little red-crested skink chief. Tremendously bad idea. Looks like some salamanders have moved up and are firing away at our Infernal Guard. Their formation completely broken by the explosives of those shots, but they have sufficient fire resistance and physical that it shouldn't be all that damaging. Otherwise, the enemy Drazhoath is moving in, and that's a big old walking barn of a target, and all of our fire glaives, or at least all 4 of our fire glaives, will begin to target that thing. We'll leave the arrows to target whatever it is they please, as this is something that needs armor piercing, and on top of that we can stop the poor Drazhoath in its tracks with that Tormentor Sword. Lovely, that's going to help out. It's got 20,000 HP on top of 30% physical and 20% physical and 30% missile resistance, so it will take a while to bring down. But it is, ooh, and a nice magma cannon shot actually staggers it. Wasn't expecting it to be staggered by that. And that Tormentor Sword really paying for itself on this particular Demon Smith. That said, it looks like the Drazhoath is still mobile and is still alive, but it looks like it will actually rout. Beautiful, and in fact I believe it will shatter as well, so we don't have to deal with it anymore. Will it go down from the last couple of blows? 75 HP, and no, it just gets out of range. Wow. Oh well, what are you gonna do? We got other things to contend with as the flyers have arrived. The Coatl leads the charge with some Ripperdactyl riders, and they do land upon our units. Do a little bit of damage to the Infernal Guard with Fireglaves, knocking out 9 units and about 20% of their HP. Otherwise, the main enemy line has arrived, the Sacred Kroxigors together with Temple Guard facing off against our Infernal Guard, while Fire Leech Bolas rain fire down from up above. But once again, the presence of the Infernal Guard means plenty of fire resistance against the enemy, and the Lizards do like to use fire damage, so that works out fairly well for us. Magical damage on those Sacred Croxies and tons of armor piercing though, so we do have to watch out for that. Coatl sort of flying around trying to catch our Demonsmith Sorcerers, but is now fairly heavily damaged by our range fire. Our melee line is not quite buckling, but has taken a little bit of damage, and we're going to back off a couple of the more heavily damaged units. But it looks like the battle is definitely going our way, and the balance of power is already at 90% in our favor. If you were wondering where the solar engines were, we not only summoned the unit of Kadai Fireborn upon them to stop them firing, but then charged in with the 2 units of Hobgob Wolf Raiders, the anti-large spear variant. And while I'm sure they will lose a decent amount of their number to fighting the Basties, the Besties will eventually go down. A and B, they weren't able to fire this entire time. It looks like the enemy Coatl is in very bad shape, so bad I think it was about to go down as well, or at the very least, it gets shattered. The last of the enemy Pterodon Riders with Fire Leech Bolas, and I think regular Pterodons as well. Nope, double Fire Leech Bolas will shatter, and with that, the battle is ours. Oh, lovely. Certainly they had a lot of elite units, but we just had too much firepower here. If it was only our Gabo army, they would have broken through our line like nobody's business. I mean, let's be real here. We only have 3 units of Cutthroats in that particular army, and while that army is good, it's not really meant for fighting multiple armies or super elite armies all at once. Though I'm sure we'll come into contact at least with a couple with it, but hopefully by then it'll be powered up even further. Anyway, very nice fight. Alright, there we go. The AI may have had a very elite army, but numbers told in the end, and we sure did have way more numbers. We got decent amounts of labor and money rewards this time around. Labor's harder to acquire than money, so I'm still thinking that we take the labor despite the need for the money for various reasons, in part because also because we are nearly negative again. Man, and we had just gotten it fixed. What can you do? Transport captives, I guess. Although, no, you know what? Screw it. We're gonna take the money. We're gonna take the money. And that should be our first drill battle, and as we decided in a previous episode, we're going to use the Corrupted Braces of Scavor to power the drill, because casualty replenishment rate +5 for armies is really needed. Normally you have a massive increase to casualty replenishment from all armies because your heroes can do it, but none of our heroes can do it, and therefore we need it. Even though Embrace of Scavor would be absolutely fantastic on Drazhoath himself, as it would essentially counteract the previous weakness that he got from losing that, all that good stuff. Anyway, let's give this a read. At last, the ancient relic of Scavor is in our grasp. With the power of the runic braces bound to demonic power, our dream of reaching Hushut's fiery realm would be one step closer to realization. Having said that, the recognition and influence you would gain from keeping the braces for yourself would be glorious, a temptation almost too good to pass up. Alright, use for the drill. If we didn't need the casualty replenishment rate, I would absolutely take those. But anyway, Middle Manager Stormbreaker has a Lamasu, and ooh, we get one of these. Of the Schism.
The Hell Workers labor to bind a demon to the first dwarf relic, despoiling it completely before placing it into boilers of the great drill of Hashut. Such desecration will be remembered by the dwarves of the West. Yet it was they that cast the first stone. It was their ancestor gods who abandoned the forefathers of the Dwarfs as they ventured eastward into the Dark Lands. All dwarves can bear grudges, and those in the West shall never be forgiven.
Alrighty, there we go. And continue. Will that do anything? Okay, no, I get it. Alright, Great Taurus for Nabua, Great for Nabua, Sacred Host of Tepog destroyed, and Binding Scavor. I believe, yes, we were given that a read just now. Alright, and you guys are not so damaged that you can't, in theory, fight, though I do wonder whether you are able to go to Dreadrock. Do we have defenders at Dreadrock? We do. They're not much, though. Alright, so, you know what? We'll use Nabua to reinforce because, well, we still wanted to. Let's also get you armor. And we still wanted to send him away, so he can leave either through Dreadrock or back around through this way to meet up with Mordrum. And I guess the faster Mordrum gets to him, the better, so we may as well meet him out at sea. Like so. And then return for more units to ferry. And Overseers, anything good? No, still Bilious in a dust. One day we'll get a good one. Again, I mean, I've been waiting for a needful Overseer for what feels like ages now. Anyway, Kuntij and... Okay, well, Kuntij is the only one that can move, so you will go to Dreadrock, and we should have enough troops to auto-resolve this real quick. And now that we have casualty replenishment rate, we should be not afraid, or not as afraid, of auto-resolving stuff as we once were of the basic sort of settlements, so should be pretty happy about that. Demolish the building, and that's it for the stuff we gotta do here. You will channel, and then start heading out this way. We still have their capital to defeat and Skull Island to acquire down there. Oh, wow, 3 islands. It looks like this place will provide us some much-needed cash. Much-needed cash influx. Anyway, Mordrum, go this way. You two will once again meet up, and... well, we'll figure out what to do with these armies afterwards. Draj. Probably will attack with you. Just give me a second. Vrogny, you have reached Magpie Town. You know what? You can go all the way to the edge of this as far as you can. You're gonna jump over the river and you're gonna head past it towards the Pallid Nurslings. It's about time we declare war upon the Skaven over there. A little bit worried about Flayed Rock because we don't have an army over there, and it's one of our critical settlements. Maybe we start on the Skaven here, so like defeat these guys and then loop back around. Frankly, we may need 2 armies to deal with this, but we'll see about it in a minute. Otherwise, who still needs to move? Zardrak Dumbtamer. Okay, so Jarthaz the Grey will need you to head to Urdumdrak. That's where ZHATAN will start his conquest. And we'll also need to build you some stuff, but right now we can't afford it, so eventually. We'll get you some stuff eventually. You are similarly headed up here. And you can sit in Kulbechtar. With anticipation that the slaves of Jar will attack us. In which, considering how much they hate us, they probably will. You will go to this place, Gulrunkaz, and probably wait for the Dimmed Suns as, well... You're gonna have to watch out for them, but hopefully with the Confederation of Gorth the Cruel and Jarna Grund itself, that'll be easily solved. Vrogny, ooh, hello. Do we have enough? Yes, we do have enough defenders to attack this. Lovely. What I wonder is, will they sally out to fight us? So let's besiege the place, and we'll find out. Alright, Pyrrhic victory. We'll see. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Let's build some siege equipment, as they would probably have a decent-sized advantage here. Otherwise, Vrogny, you have armor maxed out. Let's get you Inspiring Presence, and we'll need Black Shard Bulwark and firing drills for you as fast as possible. What about the Demon Smith here? Well, now we'll have to start with Infernal Engineer, so yeah, gotta get that additional missile resistance and reload skill. Unit is artillery or a war machine, yeah, so a bunch of those guys buffing up the war machines of ZHATAN should make for a pretty interesting army. Just gotta keep an eye on those demon smiths of his for the potential of some nice metal demon smiths. Materialistic isn't too bad either, but anyway, metal demon smiths with... Well, compulsive is nice as well, but if we were going for morale shock, we should probably just get 4 with morale shock, if we go with 4. Because his army wouldn't need a Castellan, would it? Unlike other armies of ours. Norgrug, who are you, and why are you here? Impatient. Oh, another Bull Centaur Torek, but not with the appropriate stuff. So, let's get rid of this, and we'll get rid of you now. Although... I'm tempted to say use him as a scout for a few turns, so we'll delete him as needed afterwards, but I'd like to keep an eye on what's going on here. Aha, we got some regular dwarfs here, which will warrant a fight with ZHATAN, and the only way we can recruit his stuff will be out of here. Want to get him another magma cannon. I suppose what we could do is we can have you build him a magma cannon if we have the capacity for it. Oh wow. I don't know whether we'll be able to get some... Oh, I wonder... Damn, I didn't check whether ZHATAN had a reduction on the cost of getting artillery up and running. That's a question. I suppose at best it'll be, what, 10 or 20%? Well, 20% is pretty significant if it is in fact that. How much do they cost right now? $3.99. We needed to do 4 as well to get even a 1 magma cannon and kill 1 skullcrackers and iron demons. I think we can wait. We can wait. Let's not screw our economy too much further than we already have. You are a compulsive sorcerer of metal. You're supposed to join the Hobgob stack. As in Gordez's Hobgob stack. Corporate Spy, you are going to go for this place again. 45 and 6, just gotta double check that this place is 51-47. This is better. And another success, and a great Taurus for you, but you ain't keeping it because it costs us gold, and we gotta be efficient here. Another point in steel tech, lovely. And maximum cargo capacity will be complete next turn, and then we can go for industrial security as well, which will help out in having those, like, laborer piles in settlements. It'll all work out nicely, I hope. Alright, Recruiter Astrogoth, yes, you still need to move. You can... I guess we could keep traveling through this territory. The thing is, he still needs to get to Izdubar, and oh right, you will need capacity as well, which means we have to go to the Hellforge and start getting Bull Centaur renders, or in greater numbers. Oh, 644. These guys are insanely expensive. I'm almost tempted to delete them from the other army just so Astrogoth can get his, because we're just plain not going to be able to afford them. We'll do 3 for now. I mean, at least not until all of our factories are up and running and pumping out those armaments like nobody's business. You currently have 1 with dual axes. And I think we built 3 with shields, or 2 with shields. Yeah, okay. We'll do 1 with dual axes, and then 2 with great weapons. That'll give you 5. 6 plus 7 out of the... plus 7 out of the Regiment of Renown that will transfer you later. Okay, we'll do, I don't know, 4 bullies then? Toruks with him, just because it's difficult to get capacities right now. Well, if we can actually get bullies, which has also been somewhat difficult up until now, but anyway. Bulceru, Blackheart, you have moved. I think that's everybody, which means a little bit more factory dealing with in terms of the... admin. Yeah, alright, so first we'll start with the labor. How's that public order looking? Okay, so we're at -5 here, which is not as great. We may actually want to set an example here. It's 5 turns for 200, it's not so bad. Then we have a few places with factories. So Gate District is where? Is it this way? No, this is Causeway of Jar, which actually needs to build that clay pit immediately. And we can't rush it, unfortunately, even though I think it'll probably be worthwhile to do so. Alright, let's transfer a little bit to the Causeway of Jar. I guess we gotta figure out from where. Alright, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4 to Causeway of Jar, if I can find it. Like so. Yeah, our labor surplus isn't huge anymore, so we need to be careful with dealing with it. Then we'll do you, and then we'll rush you as well, just because it's... Okay, and we don't have enough to rush you anymore. Even though you're a lot cheaper than you were before. And then this place, as I said, is going to be fortified. So we'll do the hobgobs, we'll do the ash level, and then we'll do... Well, I guess just the hobgobs and the ash level. So it's not even actually going to be all that fortified, but fortified enough for our purposes, I guess. Maybe even replace the ash level with the defensive structure. Anyway, labor needs to be transferred to places that require it. So we'll need 300 and 600, so it's 900 labor to max out our efficiency, eh? Alright, so let's try to get 900 from somewhere. Somewhere where we have free space. Like so. Good enough. Alright, and then go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, alright, 100% efficiency is back up and running. Lovely. Next up, we need... I mean, I guess we're gonna do it. We're going to attack the Skaven here, presuming that it is the Skaven. Ooh, we should also level up Drazhoath here. You know, I'm thinking that while there is a bunch of other stuff that we want to get, Ashen, etc., we need to start moving through his red line. The thing is, the auto-resolve has been kind of screwing some of his units over, and we might be able to prevent that at least to some degree by powering said units up, so let's do that. We'll start with Blackshard Bulwark, although... Well, the firing drills won't make these guys any tankier, so let's start with Blackshard Bulwark, and we'll do Hellish Blows as well for the Kadai. Frankly, the fact that he has to spend 9 points here is going to be kind of iffy, because he's so point hungry. But we got to get to this part anyway, so it doesn't matter, as long as we spend some 6. And Inspiring Inferno, that'll make his army a little bit less expensive. Just a teensy bit. Don't really have any way to reduce the Kadai any further, but, well, what are you gonna do? We are the elite, we don't care about laboratories, so I guess we now try to move towards extra powder. I probably will go towards sundering attacks here, but for now, let's just keep doing this. Alright, and then you, sir. You have in your face, you are trying to get towards restock, so hard to hit and then restock. Beautiful. In the somewhat unlikely event that we actually run out of ammunition in this army. You have scouting maxed out. We could go for onslaught, which would potentially also help us with the auto-resolve, and it's not like you're really casting all that much right now. And that's probably not super likely to change. We will, however, get you the Headdress of Jar, because these guys have been pretty darn vulnerable throughout the campaign. Miscast base chance. That would also be good for Drazh, but let's do onslaught for the army. Alright, next we go here. Let's see what we got. And it is indeed Clan Krizor. Oh, maybe I should have waited for the... I mean, we could wait one turn, right? You know what, let's wait one turn. I figure the Tech Thief can first steal tech here, and then we can attack... Oh, but then what if this little army moves? It was just such a tiny army. Oh, we suffer attrition here. Okay, never mind. That changes things. Sorry, Tech Thief, but we're gonna have to just declare war. They have no allies, and I really should have checked that, but we're okay. We probably can ask... Oh, you know what? Pallid Nurslings, let's see if we can get one more use out of you. Join war against Clan Krizor. 2.5k. Well, thank you. Let's do that. I feel bad. Once again, if they hadn't been a broken faction, if they had actually started leveling up their stuff and getting units and allowing us to build their stuff, we would have kept them around. It's not my fault. Oh, we should also use this guy to leech a little bit of XP. Frankly, I don't care if he does. Right now, he's mostly serving as bait to see if we can't... well, he was serving as bait. And I guess we'll continue serving as bait against the Skaven. And, yeah, see what I mean? Kadai lost half their numbers to that. And so did the Fireglaves, which is still a little bit weird. And so did the Magma Cannons. What are the Iron Sworn doing? You got one job. But anyway, we will occupy the place as a... I think we were doing factories here, unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, alright. You have an Ash level, which you probably don't need here. Shrieking Blade and whatever else we got. Scarecrow Banner. We'll put that in the sort of more flying army, although... you know what? Keep the Scarecrow Banner for now. We should also give you the Banner of Eternal Flame. Let's also give you the Scarecrow Banner, yes. Alright. At least we're healing up a lot better than we were before, and I mean a lot better. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have sacked this place to take advantage of this newly acquired... Oh, turns until available 1. It's not available yet anyway, so it wouldn't have worked. Alright. Good job, Ruinous. That was completely intentional that I didn't sack that place. Completely intentional, guys. Yeah, go for the gold panners since it's what we need more. Lovely. All right, that worked out. Anyway, I believe we have a little bit of cash to spend, or a little bit of raw material to spend. I will do next turn's raw material spending between the episodes, but for now we still have to do this in order to get what we need up and running. Let's upgrade this factory, and let's upgrade Uskalani. It's fairly cheap. Go for the donation barrel, and go for the patrol towers. We're starting from the bottom because our new provinces need to be built up rapidly. Ramparts, factory, go with, I don't know, gunsmith first, it doesn't matter. Patrol routes and donation barrel, dragon's breath. 800 for the ramparts, a little bit more expensive than I'd like. Oh, actually no, we're going to hold off on that until the masterful architects are ready. But we can start with the patrol routes because they're super cheap. Alright, crossroads. Not you, because you're not full territories, so we can't afford to be investing in you right now, unfortunately. This place, though, very much so. Sluice gate, and upgrade the production plant, and the production plant as well. It feels so weird not to be focusing factories, or not focusing towers and focusing factories instead, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Anyway, yes to the strip mine, even though we don't have, well, you know what, no. We'll wait until we have Erdem Rack, which will be a couple of turns, so it's not critical. We have way too many territories and are spread too thin resources-wise. We need to consolidate, but fortunately we are starting to, you know, get the number of territories that we were looking to get, if that made any sense. Get this gold sluice up and running, and, well, yeah, I'm upgrade this factory as well. What I was getting at was that the admin will soon be decreasing in the amount that we have, generally speaking. Also, this place will need to set an example, and we'll need to transfer more here. Alright, so this is Gate District. We're out of resources anyway, so... let's say from here and here, and then to Gate District, which is here, right? Yes. Alright, it's good enough for now, or at the very least I don't want to look at it. I'll deal with it between the episodes next time, because for now I want to end the turn. Unassigned skill points, building upgrades, lords not moved, outpost available, outpost upgrade available. Can't afford it. Yes, we do have treasury, but we need that for mines. Oh, I could go through looking for mines to upgrade, but we'll do it next time, or I'll do it between the episodes. And they will sally out. I am very glad of that. We do still have a fair amount of range units in their army, but at least we won't be horrifically outnumbered, as we were the last time we fought the Darklands bandits. This is probably also their last hurrah, as the faction is nearly destroyed, so let's make sure they're gone for good. Wait. No, actually, I think they have one more settlement. But either way, this will complete the causeway all the way to Jarnagrund, which is appropriate right before we can federate Jarnagrund. Fight battle. Alrighty, here we go, possibly the last hurrah of the Darklands bandits. The last time they gave us a bit of a kicking as we fought. We certainly took a lot of damage last time we fought them, so we'll do this battle a teensy bit differently. We do still have to keep in mind that they do outrange us fairly considerably, whether it be with peasant bows or jade crossbows or crane guns as they have, or sky lanterns. Blunderbusses are short-range fire after all, and we are relying on 5 of them to do our damage. Thus, we deployed all of our units of a great weapon Chaos Dwarf Warriors, led by the Mad Hatters and the Axes of Azgorh, to hopefully hit the enemy army and run down some of those archers as soon as they get in range. And that's the plan, anyway. We try to get a little bit closer with our Iron Demons, but gotta remember that they are pretty vulnerable to enemy range fire spam, and unfortunately don't move quite fast enough to be able to dodge them very well. So I want to get a couple of shots off on the enemy cav, maybe even force them to move towards us, but we rapidly lose the barrier on the Iron Demons, and we'll have to back off. It was already close to half HP when the battle started, and while we tried to bob and weave and get away from those shots, can't quite do so. It does look like the peasant horses will attempt to chase us down, but unfortunately it looks like this little hill is interfering with the fire from our blunderbusses, meaning we have to send them forward. Fortunately, we're not really afraid of a charge from the peasant horses, so not a huge deal. And besides, our regular Chaos Dwarf Warriors will move in right behind the rest of our units. A unit of Man-Eaters will charge forth. That's going to be a lot scarier, especially now that Jade Lancers have arrived to back up the peasant horses. But fortunately, the Blazing Beards of Bajorak will move out in front and should be able to defend against the Man-Eaters reasonably well. The Blazing Beards, after all, have massive stats. Even discounting the Armor of Contempt, they are pretty solid defenders on par with Infernal Guard, despite being Chaos Dwarf Warriors. Otherwise, finally, our Chaos Dwarf Warriors with great weapons will sally out of those forests that they were hiding in, and will engage enemy cav and enemy infantry, and I believe have caught one unit of Jade Warrior crossbows. Our Demolisher rockets are raining down upon this enemy Gatemaster, as it's most definitely needed, as the Gatemasters and all the range units have once again been frickin' focusing down our mage, ignoring everything else, all going for the mage, and the enemy does have 2 Gate Masters on top of those range units, so we gotta get that Demon Smith the heck out of there. Fortunately, as enemies try to close the distance, they will get into range of our blunderbusses, which will rapidly be able to heavily damage any infantry units and pretty much obliterate that unit of Jade Warrior halberds as they close. Time to start moving towards the enemy. Our units of Chaos Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. Oh, look at those cannon shots fire, or those Demolisher rockets. At 18 HP, one more volley will take that Gate Master out. But yeah, these guys have been engaged for the entire time, and are doing quite well by the looks of it, at least in melee. Their armor piercing is bringing down those Jade Warriors. And somewhere, I do believe those rockets have killed off that enemy Gate Master. Never got to try out the Gate Masters myself, can't wait to do a cafe run. Not just because of that, but in general. Alright, in our Chaos Dwarf Warriors, definitely on the offensive now. A little bit of a red versus green action here. Do like the contrasting color schemes. Always makes it nicer to watch a battle, as it's much more clear what's facing off against what. Anyway, the balance of power has shifted to about 80% in our favor, and we haven't suffered all that much damage to our main army, other than this poor Demon Smith, which just got focused down so hard by everything. And I was trying to keep him out of range. He was in the back line, and they still all decided to go for him. Anyway, in just a matter of time now, as the great weapons hack down the remnants of the enemy melee that are still on the field. Probably used to fighting in polluted swamp water, as we can still clearly see all those factories and Chaos Dwarf buildings in the background. Blunderbusses have joined the fray against the Sky Lanterns now, and the Demolisher rockets landing a little bit too late, as they have a long arcing or flying time. Balance of power is about 90, maybe even 95% in our favor now, and it looks like with only 2 full HP units remaining, including the enemy Lord Magistrate, which refused to participate in melee. Which makes sense, being a support lord and all that. The battle is now ours. Lovely, and I think we learned our lessons from that first time that we fought them, and hiding the Dwarf Warriors with great weapons worked out very, very well. Still might need a couple of adjustments to this army, but I'm happy with this particular performance. Alright, a very solid battle. Unfortunately, we couldn't get all the Jade Lancers destroyed, which means we can't occupy the territory in this turn, and also that poor Demon Smith. I don't think I've ever seen the AI hate on the mages nearly as much as I've seen them do so in this particular campaign. Every single time if the enemy has any range units, they will all, without fail, attempt to go for our mages. And yeah, definitely have to get the mages some kind of additional missile resistance or something. I'm almost starting to think that their mounts might actually be a detriment to them, in the sense that they're pretty darn big targets floating up there, as opposed to being tiny and on the ground and possibly interspersed among other troops. Now we do have decent... I wonder if the auto-resolve will kill off our Demon Smith if we don't heal here. It is 414 labor, or we can heal him up to full, well, to half. Alright, I'm gonna risk it. It is 414 labor, and let's just hope that it doesn't screw us over. They're still besieging the place, so that should still be okay. And maybe they'll even heal up a little bit between the, well, while the turn is ending. Who knows? That might help us out. Also, Vrogny now has campaign movement range, which is funny, because he's not supposed to be leading this army. We need a needful guy with additional armor for the Chaos Dwarf Warriors and Blunderbusses. But we'll take it. Also, I noticed that the Iron Demons did decently well in that fight, but once again, I still think we probably could do with another artillery piece. The Ghoul King wants a peace treaty. Huh? You have no territory remaining. Willing to offer us 5k to peace out while you have no territory. I've done this before, though, and I've regretted it every single time, because even though they have no territory, what they'll do with the peace treaty is that they will sit in our territory, and they will raid it for that entire time. And I think even when you do the stop trespassing thing on them, it allows you to break agreements, but it doesn't allow you to do it without the 10-turn sort of malice that you get. So, yeah, we're not gonna do that. Some Norskins want to be our military allies, but I'm gonna say no for now. The River Dolgan Norska. So these guys are all the way up here. They're kind of close to us. So I'm going to say no on the trade agreement for now, though it might be a decent idea to get some trade agreements going with some Norskins. Same with these guys, unfortunately, at least for now. While we don't really care about holding Carrick Doom, it's one of our drill quests. So we're going to send Astrogoth up there, and that's why he's kind of moving over there anyway. So no on the trade agreement with you either, but I'll take another look at what Norskins want to trade. Chaos Dwarfs within Jarnagrund want to trade? I don't know about that. And wow, everybody wants to be friends today now. At least not these particular factions. And we do have a sort of centralized power in our... what is this? Enables attrition for this army. Ugh. Reduce journey time to take attrition for 3 turns. I'm gonna say no, just stick to the road. Enemy killed in battle, and there's that seasoned campaigner, constructor for Astrogoth, master mason, standard of discipline, ready for duty somebody, maximum convoy or cargo capacity, a Connaught rider, and that's it. Are we done yet for the military convoys? 3 turns, oh wow, nowhere near. Alright, well, we'll get there eventually. In the meantime, we need all the raw materials we can spare, but this is all going to be quite expensive. I'm almost tempted to skip this for a couple of turns so that we can, well, I mean, we could head towards Masterful Architects for that additional construction cost reduction. Oh, we could do anything in 1 turn right now. Additional Infernal Castellan's a decent option. We're not building any military structures. I'm actually wondering whether we should grab the Boiling Blood Sacrifices to power up the Kadai slightly. Just because... and even the Demon Forges. You know what? Yeah, the auto-resolve has been screwing them over a lot, and I think we'll get these two instead. I don't know if it's such a great idea right now, but I do think that we can't be dealing with that auto-resolve constantly, at least in the shape that it's in. You're still around, but that's why H.H. Jarbaz is here. Go hunt him down and kill him off. Like so, and auto-resolve, and oh, don't tell me he lives? No, okay. Is the faction destroyed now? Enemy killed in battle, alright. Well, they gave us much in the way of labor, so we should still be happy with them. I believe with them destroyed, assuming the Skaven don't come this way, which is also a distinct possibility. You know what, you head down there, we need you to scout the graves of the dragons. You can now get rid of the Hashut Stark Ravagers, so we are gonna have to wait 10 turns, and then they will be transferred back to Astrogoth. Drazhoath, you will need to move up to... this is attrition-y, right? Yeah, it's attrition-y. You will need to move up here to Hagdar's lair, like so, and then you're supposed to follow him and continue acting as bait. Once again, we really don't care if this guy dies. He worked as a bait before, and, well, he'll work as bait again. Okay, Jiraj should heal up to full while going there. Next up, let's check Infernal Castellans, now materialistic, and Demon Smiths and Taurox real quick. Do have to do that every turn. Confrontational, Stubborn, I mean, they're all fine. Confrontational is quite nice, in fact, with the Expert's Charge Defense and Charge Reflection. Is that better than Bully, though? Because they're not getting charged, they're the ones charging. I mean, immune to flanking is decent, but I still think Bully is probably the better pick. Oh wow, we have tons of capacity for these guys now. Alright, if we don't get Bullies for a while, maybe we'll start spreading those out. Metal Sorcerers. Controlling and Compulsive, not quite the ones we want. We also have to figure out what kind we... Oh, well, actually, we'll want some with Astra... You know what? Okay, here, we'll do this. We'll summon one of these guys for Astrogoth, because metal is also a good lord to combine with the Bull Centaurs, because they will need the additional armor, potentially. So let's go for Compulsive with you. Like so. And maybe we'll do fire, or maybe we'll even do death. Although, oh, death might be another decent option for morale shock, because you can do morale shocks. Do we have, aha, manipulative, alright. So you are going to join ZHATAN's army. Oh, okay, you're going to join ZHATAN's army, but you can do it right here. And, this is wasting all of our money on this, but our armies need casters, so we'll do manipulative. And ZHATAN will need these guys to reforge his units. Especially since his entire army is going to be, well, probably his entire army is going to be vehicles. I haven't completely decided, but a lot of it. At least a lot of it. Anyway, Kuntij and Nabua. Okay, so Nabua, you're headed out to sea, buddy. This, I guess, is very slightly faster, so do this. Lose that little unit of laborers, poor little guys. Oh, they served him well. And then move in. You're also waiting for a caster, and I did not decide what kind of caster we want here. I'm gonna say Hushut will work here well, because we can use a Hellhammer along the line of all of these guys, though we can... Yeah, well, the thing is, fire will also power up all the range units, including the artillery from a distance, which is quite nice. And we could do 2 casters, but it's not like this army is going to need... Oh, maybe we'll do fire then. In this one, since we're switching metal to... Oh, actually, that reminds me. Okay, first of all, Mordrim, you have Needful. Lose the Dragon Helm, but keep the Forbidden Rod for now. Might actually use you as an army, and then go back. You're going to ferry some more troops shortly. We were going to swap out this guy. The Demon Smith Sorcerer that's compulsive. We could just transfer it to him, because the other Demon Smith Sorcerer that's supposed to join that army is this guy. Yeah, alright, I like that. Let's do this. You will leave this army. And I'm gonna try to remember to swap some of the stuff around, especially that Tormentor's Sword, but we'll do it later. Or I'll do it between the episodes, not to waste time. We already do have a fire guy here, and he is manipulative, which is also decent for the hobgobs. Anyway, speaking of hobgobs, you guys, even without the mage, we'll start moving up here. We need to... Oh, it's gonna take a while. We need to get up there, and Kuntij, you're gonna follow. Both of you are gonna work together for now. In fact, go into Grundrodrak's Vengeance. There are islands to be picked up, and they still have their capital, which will probably be well defended by the time we get there. Ragni the Grey, you are going to the Pallid Nurslings, so go. And I'm just going to hope this is a sufficient army to deal with them. I don't know that it is, but we'll see what kind of units they have. Otherwise, I believe we're more or less good. Ooh, gotta check the lords, though. And Bilius and Bellicose. Bellicose is fine. Oh, it's Bilius and a Dust still. They haven't changed. Never mind. We had one. Alright. You, sir. I guess we'll position yourself in this location. Barracour, and then you are going to move right here. ZHATAN will be up next turn, unless I'm mistaken. Yes, alright. So he will immediately attack Ordemrak. As soon as he's back up, we'll occupy this, and then this will be the entire territory, and I'll deal with the admin later. Norgrug. Go here. We want you to keep acting as a scout. Oh, these guys are fighting too. They're gonna take territory which rightfully belongs to us. Shouldn't be doing that. Corporate Spy, your turn. And let's have you steal some tech. Oh, failure that time. I didn't check what the... chance of actually succeeding was, but I guess it was too low. You, sir, are going to sit here. Not even going to bother channeling. And hello, yeah, so these guys might attack us at any moment. If anything, we may want to delete this and replace it with the Hobgob building, so we have a little bit in the way of defenses here. But once again, I don't really care if these guys die or not. Anybody else? You were supposed to recruit some stuff for ZHATAN. Specifically, another magma cannon, but I don't think we have the armament capacity to do so. Well, maybe we might. Nah, well, we can wait the one turn. I did say I wanted to wait the one turn to make sure that he didn't produce their armaments, because if he does, then we'll do it later. And this is why I should have done this in order, because now we're going backwards. Anyway, you, Ostrogoth, are nearly there, so we gotta have your army ready to go, or at least nearly ready to go by the time you do. And I forgot that you have a Castellan, but I think this one was one that we were going to delete. A Resentful. Yeah, armor when under siege. I mean, armor when in foreign territory isn't too bad, but I'm not sure that Ostrogoth's army is going to need any of those guys. They're too slow, they just wouldn't be able to keep up. And I think that's it. Alrighty, well, with that, folks, I think I'm going to call the episode. There's a lot of admin to do this turn, and I will deal with it between the episodes. Don't forget to drop those votes for the additional units, as it would potentially allow us to get a few more army compositions. Next time, we will be looking to expand out from our newly acquired territories under ZHATAN and start working on those big old army battles for the drill quest, as well as, I believe, try to knock out the Skaven. Shouldn't take too long before moving back down to fight Malice, as that's between this army and our main stack as well. Stay tuned for more Chaos Dwarfs. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.